Hi, good morning. A GE day, huh? It's a Saturday. Let's touch on this. Singapore has the most efficient system to apply passes online. Highly educated and capable PRCs will do without agent. That's why you are surrounded by crap and scammers, unless you are non-Chinese. Let's put it in the way. I do agree with you that our system for applying passes is efficient, and there's also frequent changes to the system to upgrade it to be even better, and that's a good credit that goes to ICA. But why is it that there's still people around like me? There's still more and more agents, more and more businessmen thinking of investing to become an immigration consultant. Okay, I won't speak for the others, but I speak for myself. Not all cases are straightforward. All right, put it in a way, if your case is straightforward, you do not have any problems in actually dealing with actually producing the facts and figures. They're exactly straightforward. Your case is very straightforward, then I will advise you to apply on your own. All right, so because people who come to me are actually cases, majority are cases where it's not straightforward, and they have applied for many times on their own, and they still couldn't get it approved. So it takes someone with experience and understanding to know how do you actually go about solving their problems. All right, be it that you're Chinese or non-Chinese. All right, not all Chinese will have a smooth flowing immigration process, and it doesn't mean that if you are non-Chinese you'll be faced with a lot of problems. The people that are faced with a lot of problems are mostly those, like I said before, that doesn't have straightforward and clear immigration documents that is needed. All right, so I support and I assist people in this area who are actually faced with a lot of problems with immigration to solve their problems. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trained for. So you cannot say that we are somehow not in need. When there's demand, there is supply. All right, it's a very understandable fact. It's just like I have actually gotten a message this morning from another person who actually says something like he was saying that as passes so easy to get PR. So I said that I disagree. I've been in this line for over 23 years. I don't think so. So he straight away he actually commented that I'm in my glass tower. I do not know what is happening in the ground. I am in touch with people who are on the ground, who are actually on the ground, who are actually facing the problems. That's why they come to us. I explained to you how things were and how things are for the last 23 years. For a period of time, for a brief period of time, for around 1990, early 1990s, to around 2010 to around 2010, it was a time of expansionist immigration policy. Those were the times where it's so easy to get PR. Because Singapore is going through, they're looking for foreigners with skills, with talents. So it's open. It was so easy, and many PRCs, Burmese, Thais, Indians, you name it, they have it. And they actually, and Filipinos, they have actually gotten PRs during that time. But after that, things started to change. Things started to change, and it gets more and more difficult. But one thing to take note of is Malaysian Chinese have always been one of the easiest group to get PRs due to the fact of the proximity in to us, and also their similarity in culture, in actually language. So actually they have been one of the most favorite group. But even for them right now, it's not easy. It's not easy for them to get PRs. And if you think that S-Pass is easy to get PR, maybe it's those previously during the expansionist times. But right now, S-Pass with their profiles is not easy. They actually losing out a lot to the EP holders. So if we talk about S-Pass, yeah, I don't think so. I totally disagree. I'm not in my glass tower. I feel that it's people who do not understand that from different segments of time, there are actually different reasons and different policies where they need talents, where you call it or whatever. So this is something that we have to understand. Things that happened in the past may not happen again, but it's actually right now, it's getting really, really tough to get PRs, even for the Malaysians. So you got to understand how things are and when did these things happen, all right? You know, I could strongly understand how a lot of Singaporeans feel about the competition that comes from foreigners and jobs and even in schools. But I guess this is something that we have to live with. All right. Today is GE. I shall not comment too much. But one thing to take note of is that voting is secret, and it doesn't mean that if you're educated, you're definitely in support of the ruling party. And it also doesn't mean that if you are not so highly educated, you're definitely in support of the opposition. My whole idea is everybody decides. Today, Singapore decides. All right? And I respect everybody's view because you are in a particular area that maybe you feel something. But in actual fact, we are, when it comes to immigration, I'm on the ground. I can feel it too. I can feel, I can tell you what I've come across. All right? Do take care. Singaporeans, today we decide. I've yet to vote. I'm planning to vote in the afternoon now. All right? Today Singapore decides. We decide on how many seats that the opposition will get. Like what they say, the ruling party will still rule, but it's just a matter of how many opposition